Hello, this is Woody Q. I'm on my Ranger, and I think I'm just going to throw out this here on this. Any guildies or people that are interested in playing a Ranger in this game, if you're, need a refresher because you've been away for a long time, or uh, first-time players aren't going to get much out of this. But anyway, I'm just chilling and killing, headshotting mobs that are light blue. I'm at max level 130, but I'm kind of working on my Ranger, trying to get up his gear a bit and stuff. And I'm going to try to keep this video to maybe 10 or 15 minutes, something like that. And throw out little tips as they come to mind, I guess. If you have any questions, you can put them in the comments on maybe gear I'm using, stat priority. Rangers, they use Dex a lot. And your goal is to get up to about a heroic Dex of 4,000 is the sweet spot. And I got my healer Merc Elwood out. He's an otter dude and he has a bow. I thought was kind of cool because I view Rangers kind of an archer type. I think the days of the melee Ranger are long gone. We're all a little bit of Legolas. Some people don't like it. Some people like it. I like it. So, to each his own. Or her own. Whatever it may be. I'm going to throw out something. The spells by the icons. All of these are arrow or archery spells with the exception of this one here, which looks like an archery spell, but it's actually a nuke. I'm just gonna beat this guy down the rest of the way. I like to use a shield because you get more stats with the shield. Plus, you get AC to try to survive a little bit. If you have to if a tank dies, and you got to run in there and hit all your defensives and hope you live long enough for them to get the tank back into action, with some combat reses and quick buffs and tell them to get back in there. So that's my logic with that even though I'm pretty much a paper tank cannon, where's that guy at? Oh, he's way over there. That's the logic with my gear most of the time. I have a secondary weapon that I have in case, once in a while if I'm dual wielding. But most of the time I've got a shield on. And I just kind of dual wield just to if I'm in the mood, I guess, I like to get weapons that have a healing proc instead of a damage proc. Again, because if I'm trying to do DPS, I'm going to be using my bow. Any other time, doing any other thing, I'm just trying to survive until somebody can get the damn mob off me, so that's my logic there. Rangers are not tanks. Not anymore. Not since about level maybe 30. And yeah, my Ranger's 130. 130, and there's all the stuff. I don't have my AA's maxed yet. I'm trying to get his gear squared away to be more level appropriate. His gear isn't super out of date, but it is what it is there. I'm just kind of casually headshotting these mobs. Just throwing a couple spells on there to start out, and then just letting the auto attack take care of the rest mostly. The more you cast spells, it feels like to me the more likely you are to get headshot to proc. I do have a sound trigger for my headshot. Maybe I'll put that on there for a little bit. It might get a little annoying just to prep yourself a little bit. Let's see. I got about 10 minutes, let's say, left in the video. Like the last 5 minutes to give you an idea and how often it's procking for me. I'll go ahead and let the sound trigger go on it. I just use I only have one account, and I just let the sound triggers go. It's built into the game, so I don't have a parser. I don't run a parser. Got one account. I play on an iMac using crossovers in all of my video descriptions, I think. And so I'm a little bit of a unicorn there. But the game runs fine for me, and I have fun with it. So, there you go. I've been playing the game. I haven't always used Macs. I just switched over to the Macs a couple of years ago because I got really sick of Windows, just being Windowsy. Breaking stuff all the time, switching settings that you've changed back to the defaults that Microsoft wants you to have, and just always feeling you have to be on guard or always trying to fix something. I've had this iMac that runs perfectly fine and runs everything I need for a little over 2 years now, and I've yet to have an issue with it for anything. It's never been unable to boot. It's never broken a program that doesn't work anymore. Same thing with crossover. Once I figured out how to use it, which didn't take a whole lot, crossover is pretty idiot proof for the most part. You just gotta, and it doesn't have that many settings, so you just mess with the setting a little bit depending on the program or game or whatever you're putting in it, to be able to. It's a translation layer, not a VM. It's a translation layer that uses either Wine, various open source type things, and it can even translate Apple's graphics system is called Metal as their driver, and on a lot of the newer games, you can play it using the Apple's native Metal graphics driver. It'll translate it into to work with various Windows games. I mean, mostly people are going to use it for gaming. I mean, that's kind of how they bill it too a bit. But some people want to try to use other programs that might be more Windows specific. That they want to see if it runs better in crossover versus say using. There's two other things that Apple uses. What's it called? Rosen something. I've never had to use them, so anyway. And some people like Pages better than Microsoft Word, or is it Excel? I don't know. I don't have all the work stuff I have to do on my computer is done through the browser on a web portal, so I don't have to. I've never really needed. For a long time anyway, needed my computer for work. So it's just how things are for me personally for work. I'm having a brain fart here. I haven't had a lot of caffeine yet. Oh yeah, I was going to change what time. I'm trying to keep these videos shorter. Helps with size as well as I did actions on the EQ button and then audio triggers here. This headshot for this right here, I turn it off because there's other rangers in the area that gets on your chat log. because this just, whenever something happens in the chat log, it'll see the text and it'll make a little sound. It's going to make that sound. It's kind of low, subtle. You may not even be able to hear it, which could be problematic, but I'm going to turn it on, apply, and maybe you'll hear it. Hopefully you can. I don't edit my videos, I just throw them out there. There's a headshot. See, you can really hear it go to town. Now, I've got some, I have Guardian, Outrider's Accuracy, and Imbued Ferocity. Those activate automatically whenever I start shooting. They're on pretty short cooldowns, anywhere from 5, 6. I think Imbued Ferocity is maybe 8 minutes or something. So Rangers have a lot of AAs that, and a few disciplines that really boost damage hugely. When I'm headshotting, these 2 arrow spells are cheap, and called shots everybody pretty much knows, and it does 2 archery attacks, so that's extra chance to headshot. And this one I think does 4, right? Yeah, 4 archery attacks. So whether you're shooting like I am or even in melee range, these arrow spells will, if a mob is headshotable, will headshot. So there you go. Another helpful macro tip I can add in here in the last few minutes here is my root, or I call my bluster. I got Bluster Bolt and Fluster Bolt baked in here. They're instant casts, 0 mana too. That spell is just so freaking awesome. I can't believe they gave it to us. But and this is the order I have stuff in, and I have just a little funny thing I put in there. You can see, right there. It's just in the group. So there you go. Grasp of Sylvan Roots is a really good root. It's only got a 30-second cooldown, and it roots for about a minute, and it's a very strong root. Very strong. So that's good, because these roots are weak. Okay, they're pretty damn weak. So you got to kind of buff it up. So you basically use these to get distance, and then you try to put a stronger root if you can. The third one is here. This is Vine Lash. The root on this one tends to be a little stronger than the Fluster Bluster. So I have that in there, and I just whatever, depending on whatever's up, is what's gonna go when I hit my 3 button. I always like to have things snared when I'm headshotting. I just feel like I have a little bit more control, a little bit more time to react. Here, I mean, stuff's not going to hurt me hardly at all. But if I'm in a zone that has a little bit higher mobs that I can still headshot that don't summon or anything, I might not want to be in melee range very, very long. I might want to get distance as quick as I can. So, and when I have time to react, I think sometimes I'm watching TV when I'm playing and stuff, and if my head's turned and all of a sudden I hear crack, 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 I'm like, oh no, then I'll react. Perfect class to play when you're watching TV is your mage though. If you have a mage, it's so chill. But I'm working on my ranger here because my mage and my shaman are squared away for the X-Pack pretty much. But I consider it. I just group. I don't really raid, so if I feel like I have the crafted group gear, which is the highest level of group gear you can kind of wear. Get back, dude. Damn. Vine Lash is directional in a cone, We're almost done here. And this right here, you have to keep in mind, it only does the directional part of it when the cast is done. So while this is casting, without breaking the casting thing, you can do this. So you can start casting it here and then rotate a little bit to get either aim right where you want the cone to go. So that can be helpful very often, depending on what the situation is. And I have my grasp of Sylvan Roots right here. You see it's a very short cooldown. It's very nice, handy root to have if something's rootable. If mobs aren't, if they summon or if they're not rootable, it makes things not easy to do. See also, see that cast. Oh wow, look at that. He's just being a pain in the ass, isn't he? Alright, fine. This might demonstrate it here. Let's see if I headshot this guy before he dies. See, I can take these guys. It's no big deal. It didn't. You don't have that many opportunities there to headshot things when you're in melee range. But melee range, if I would have headshotted, it would have been a double damage headshot because I'm tanking. Anytime a mob's being tanked, you get double damage with archery damage, and these two do archery damage, and they apply just like your bow damage when you're shooting. Those rules apply for those spells also. That's something to keep in mind. You can be a very offensive tank if you can tank something. That's the big key, is surviving when you're in sort of melee range or tanking, you know, when you have the mob's attention. So, and you see, you know, headshots going off. I'm just self-buff too, man. If I got shaman buffs and enchanter buffs on that really speed the attacks up a lot. Now this right here will speed it up too. Gives me some over haste of 25%. This goes off the cooldown on something like 5 minutes, 6 minutes. What is it? 6 minutes, which is short. It's pretty short. Now I'm killing stuff every 30 seconds basically. I can kill a mob, but I'm headshotting. But I'm going to go over here so I can end the video here. But it's pretty nice. Group Guardian of the Forest. I used to try to stack those, to have those on automatically all the time, but I just decided to be more consistent and just have my DPS button do all of the group benefits for the most part, except for pack. It was hard for me to find a spot where I could throw pack to the wolves into a macro for me to use it that makes sense. I didn't want to just leave it off because they do great damage and they're like automatic aggro. It's crazy the aggro they generate. And they're pretty tough too. It's a good one. Shots button. Last thing, this macro here, the shot button. I like to put my 2 shots here, and then I have this dot here, which will do a little. It's a little bit of a dot, but it mainly does a really pretty big, massive damage shield on the target of the target, right? So 480k damage shield, yes please, on either me or the tank, and it lasts for 3 minutes. This was about ready to go off. It says 130, but because of AAs, it'll get doubled. It applies to the A buffs for buff length duration and whatever gear you have that helps buff that. Then I have enraging kicks, as well as a focused Maelstrom of the Blades. Next X pack will get an upgrade to this, but this is the older one. I didn't get one in Shattering of Row. At least I didn't notice it. Maybe I do. Maybe I might be out to lunch on that. But those two are melee range type things. And there you go. That's a little glimpse into how I play when I headshot and little stuff that I have that work great in groups. And this spell lineup, I don't think I ever change it. I don't need to, which is another thing I like about Rangers. So there we go. Sell with EQ. Hope this helps somebody, and get out there and have some fun, man. I'm out.